tax freight train is bearing down on your retirement. To protect yourself, you'll have to harness the power of zero.
Hi there. Welcome to the Power of Zero show. I'm your faithful host, David McKnight. Thank you for joining us for yet another episode. For those of you who are looking to navigate all of the pitfalls that stand between you and the 0% tax bracket, you are in the right place. Once again, I'm the best-selling author of The Power of Zero, Look Before You LIRP, The Volatility Shield, and a book that's going to be coming out, published through Portfolio imprint of Penguin Random House in November. And that's entitled Tax-Free Income for Life. I just sent my final edit over to my editor. And this stuff's getting real, folks. We're getting very, very close to putting this thing into production, revealing covers, all sorts of exciting things like that. If you are looking for a financial advisor to get you to the 0% tax bracket, you can head over to the to davidmcknight.com. If you're a financial advisor and want to embrace the Power of Zero paradigm in your own practice, you can head over to powerofzero.com. If you are looking for a way to buy our books in bulk, you can head over to powerofzero.com/books. And as always, we would appreciate any reviews on Amazon for any of our books or on Audible for our podcast. We would love a fair and honest review. Okay, today we're going to talk about if it makes sense to fund an annuity or an LIRP while the market is down. Sometimes I'll get questions from people that say, well, why would I want to liquidate money from my investment portfolio while the market is down so that I could fund either an LIRP or an annuity? Or am I not just cementing my losses in doing so? And here's what you got to remember. First of all, that there is an inverse relationship between stocks and bonds. When stocks go down, bonds are up. Okay, so that's the first point that I want to make here. And then I want to call back to an episode that I did, I think 2 weeks ago, which says that can an LIRP function as the bond portion of your portfolio? And I might add, in that same vein, can an annuity function as the bond portion of your portfolio? And I'd like to read something to you that Tom Hegna, he's a good friend of mine. Tom Hegna, by the way, has written a fantastic foreword for Tax-Free Income for Life. You're going to love it. This is what Tom said in response to an article that a journalist named Jeff Sommer had written about bonds. And he says, too bad that Jeff Sommer didn't write that annuities are superior to bonds for seniors. The retirees who have guaranteed lifetime income are enjoying high guaranteed payments for the rest of their lives. They can actually be a little bit more aggressive with the rest of their portfolio. These people are not stressed or worried about their financial situation, like their friends who are watching their portfolios drop like a rock. Both Dr. Wade Pfau and Dr. Roger Ibbotson have written extensively about how annuities have outperformed bonds for decades. The optimal portfolio would be to replace the bonds with guaranteed lifetime income from an annuity. The mortality credits provide retirement alpha. Okay, so let's sort of dissect what Tom is saying here. Tom is saying that if you get an annuity for the purposes of guaranteeing some lifetime income, that when you guarantee your lifetime income, that income that you receive month after month after month, year after year after year, functions as the bond portion of your portfolio. Now, you may not elect to receive that income right away. In fact, a lot of people will defer that income until 5, 6, 10 years down the road. But listen to what he says about bonds. He says, owning annuity is like owning a AAA rated bond that has triple C rated returns. Remember what junk bonds are? Junk bonds are triple C rated returns. You take more risk, but you get much higher return. What he's saying is when you invest in an annuity, the rates of return that you get are similar to junk bonds, but without the risk. So you get the high rates of return with a AAA rated sort of financial profile. So that's pretty good. Why do I even bring any of this stuff up? I bring it up because if the stock market is down, if the stock market is down and the stock portion of your investment portfolio is down, what does that mean? That means that unless we're back in 2008, that means your bonds are probably up. Remember in 2008, stocks and bonds went down together. That is sort of a black swan event. That almost never happens. When stock market goes down, your bonds are up. So if you are planning on, let's say you get a $1 million portfolio that's a 60-40 mix, you got 60% in stocks, you got 40% in bonds, and you want to guarantee a portion of your lifetime income. You want to have guaranteed lifetime income that, when coupled with Social Security or a pension, completely closes your retirement income gap. Then what you might be inclined to do is to simply liquidate the bond portion of your portfolio. Replace the bond portion of your portfolio, or a portion of the bond portion of your portfolio, with that annuity. And what Tom Hegna is telling us, and what Roger Ibbotson, frankly, and what Wade Fowle tell us, is that you will get higher rates of return for less risk by simply replacing the bond or a portion of the bond portfolio with an annuity. And then guess what? So that annuity is going to function as the bond portion of your portfolio. And then once you start drawing lifetime income, that lifetime income continues to function as the bond portion of your portfolio, because you're getting a guaranteed stream of income that's going to last as long as you do. And in many cases, depending on the type of annuity that you choose, will be adjusted to keep up with inflation. In other words, it has a growth mechanism internal to the annuity that gives you the possibility of keeping up with inflation over time. Now, what if you're in a position where you just qualified for an LIRP? You got a great rating. It makes sense mathematically to implement it, but you still have the same reservations. Why would I want to liquidate my stock portfolio while it's down during this coronavirus crisis? It's down, I think we're making a real comeback, by the way. So let's say we're down 20%, 25%. Let's say we're down 20%. So the stock market's down 20%. Why would you want to cement your losses? Why would you want to cash out stocks and make permanent those losses, only to put money into an LIRP that's going to be growing safe and productively? Yes, maybe at 5, 6, 7% over time, but it's not going to allow you to participate on the recovery of those stock market assets. Once again, we do not encourage you to liquidate your stocks while the stock market is down to fund a bond type instrument. So if you are going to fund your LIRP while the market is down, liquidate money from the bond portion of your portfolio. Remember what we've been told, buy low, sell high. Well, your bonds right now are doing great. Why? Because they're inversely correlated to stocks. That's why you have a bond stock or stock bond mix, is because they're inversely correlated. When stocks are down, bonds are up. When bonds are down, stocks are typically up. So you want to buy low, sell high. Your bonds right now are high. They've grown. They're at higher rates. Okay. So you want to liquidate those when stocks are down, use those to fund your LIRP. Then when the stock market recovers, the stock portion of your portfolio that you have not touched one little bit is going to grow and recover right along with it. Now, once again, I can reprise the theme from past podcasts by saying that this is also an excellent time to start repositioning money to tax-free. Remember, we're in the midst of the tax sale of a lifetime. 2018, tax rates went on sale. We know the year and the day when tax rates are going to go back up again, January 1st, 2026. And every year between now and then represents a little window of opportunity during which to take advantage of historically low taxes. So that's the first tax sale. The second tax sale is the cost of a Roth conversion based on the depressed value of your assets. And remember, what you can do with a Roth conversion is you're not required to liquidate your stocks or your bonds to do a Roth conversion. You can do an in-kind transfer. In other words, you can do an in-kind conversion. Just take those stocks and those bonds, reposition them to tax-free. You don't have to liquidate them at all, and then pay the tax from some other place. Pay the tax preferably from your taxable bucket. Remember what happens when you're paying your tax from your taxable bucket is you are taking money from your least tax efficient bucket and you're using it as a means of paying taxes on the process of getting money from your second least efficient tax bucket, which is your tax deferred bucket, and getting that money shifted to tax free. So you're lowering the money in your least efficient bucket in order to maximize the amount of money that goes into your most efficient taxable bucket. So in summary, folks, I just wanted to remind you, and the reason a lot of what drives my podcast themes are the questions that I get via phone calls and emails and Facebook and Twitter. I get a lot of questions from clients, from members of the general public, from other advisors. And one of the questions that I've been getting lately is, hey, I qualify for an LIRP, or hey, I'm about to pull the trigger on this annuity that is going to give me guaranteed lifetime inflation adjusted income. But I notice that the stock market is down and I feel uneasy liquidating money from my stock market portfolio because I'm simply cementing those losses, and I'm putting money into a vehicle that, yeah, it might be growing safely and productively, but it's not going to allow me to participate in the recovery of all those stock market assets. You just have to remember that stocks, as I've said in past episodes, that LIRPs and annuities function as bond replacements. And they actually give you, they actually reduce the risk in your portfolio. They reduce the standard deviation in your portfolio, and they give you higher rates of return, and they actually allow you to take a little bit more risk in your stock market portfolio than you are already taking. It gives you permission, a permission slip, if you will, to take a little bit more risk in your stock market portfolio. So rest at ease, folks. If you're planning on implementing any of these solutions, don't hesitate. You don't have to wait till the stock market recovers. Simply look at either that LIRP or that annuity as a bond equivalent, something that is designed to replace the bonds in your portfolio. You get higher rates of return for less risk, and ultimately put yourself in a position where you get the benefits of the LIRP, which, remember, are tax-free growth, safe and productive growth, but a death benefit that doubles as long-term care. If you're over age 50, what we're finding is that 75% of the time people are using the LIRP as a heartburn-free way of mitigating the long-term care risk. Remember that people aren't opposed to having long-term care insurance. They're just opposed to paying for it. If I can show you a way to pay for your long-term care protection in a way that doesn't cause heartburn, that doesn't feel like a use it or lose it proposition, then I think we got something to talk about. The LIRP, in my mind, is the best way to mitigate the long-term care risk, because if you die peaceful in your sleep 30 years from now, never having needed long-term care, someone is still getting a death benefit. And retirement experts and mathematicians and retirement or economists that have studied guaranteed income for life type approaches to retirement are all unifying their voices and saying that your money, your stock market portfolio will last longer if you guarantee a portion of your retirement income, at least the portion of your lifestyle expenses that is not covered by Social Security or a pension. Bridge that retirement gap with guaranteed inflation-adjusted income that is designed to last as long as you do. What a great bond replacement. What a great way to utilize the bond portion of your portfolio that is currently higher than it was a month ago when this crisis began. Okay, once again, if you are looking for someone to help you navigate the road to the 0% tax bracket in retirement, and or to eliminate what we call longevity risk, the likelihood that you will run out of money before you run out of life. If you're looking for a way to eliminate, purge, if you will, longevity risk and tax rate risk from your retirement portfolio, and you don't have a trusted advisor that can lead you down that road, head over to davidmcknight.com. And if you are an advisor who's looking for a unified, comprehensive way to eliminate those two risks in your clients' portfolios, head over to powerzero.com. We're happy to chat with you and show you. By the way, you can log into a free video series that will show you how to embrace this approach in your own practice. That's it for today, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, you will get a notification every week wherever you listen to podcasts, letting you know that our podcast is ready and exactly what we'll be talking about. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll talk to you next week.